Hey guys, it's Jonathan Bocher here. Welcome to PlayGuitar.com. Today we've got your very first lesson on rhythm. Now, rhythm is one of the three pillars of music. It's very, very important, and the better that you can understand rhythm, it's going to help you absolutely every time you play anything on the guitar. The three pillars, by the way, are rhythm, melody, and harmony. Okay, so rhythm. We're going to keep it very basic today. You've probably heard people counting music before, right? It might have sounded something like 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, something like that. You'll notice that I counted to 4, and we're talking about 4/4 timing today, so we're not getting into anything complicated. And so when you hit 4, then you start over again at 1, and that's bar 2 or measure 2. Now, of course, if we apply that straight to our strumming, we get what I just played for you. But that's fairly limited, right? We want to get into more interesting options with our strumming. And so very quickly, we want to start fractioning down these notes. So every time I say 1, that's a quarter of a bar, right? Because we've got 4 per bar, 4 beats per bar, 1, 2, 3, 4. So think of each of those as taking up a certain amount of space on a timeline, okay? Now, if I have this space of a quarter note, I can then divide this up. I can divide it in half, or I can divide it in 4 or into 3. You can divide it however you want. And we have different ways of talking about, like different ways of saying and expressing how we've divided that up. Today we're keeping it really simple, so we're just talking about eighth notes, and eighth notes compared to 4 notes, that means that we've divided our quarter notes in half, okay? So the space of every quarter note doesn't change, but now we've got 2 beats inside of that quarter note. I hope that makes sense. When I was in grade 4, my teacher illustrated fractions by giving us a pizza, cutting it into different pieces, and you got 4 pieces, and then you chop the quarter piece, you chop that in half again, and you've got 8 pieces altogether, right? So anyways, that's just basic fractions for you. I'm sure that you're well familiar with that. But we can apply this to our strumming, and it's really, really important. Like, I'm still surprised at the number of people I come across who don't really understand how rhythm is fractioned. So we've got 1, 2, 3, 4. Now remember, if we divide the space of the quarter note into 2, that means we can put 2 strums per quarter note. And the way that we're going to say that, rather than going 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, we're going to say 1 and, which is the second division within that quarter note. 1 and, 2 and, 3 and, 4 and. Okay? That adds up to 8 beats. Excuse me. Let's try it out. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1, 2, 3, 4. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1, 2, 3, 4. So if you notice, if you just ignore every time I said and, then nothing would change, right? My 1, 2, 3, 4. That part is consistent, and that stays steady. That's the beat and the tempo of the song, okay? But then we're adding in the ands. So you're not changing speed, you're just adding extra strums in to that same rhythm, right? That's, I think, the biggest temptation right at the beginning is to try to you speed up or you slow down, or it has nothing to do with speeding up or slowing down. It has everything to do with maintaining a very consistent and steady 1, 2, 3, 4. So that's a really good way to practice, is to just take any chord that you want, whatever's your easiest chord, it doesn't matter. You don't have to change chords during this exercise, okay? And just practice going back. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1, 2, 3, 4. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4. Okay, you'll notice that for the and, beats, I'm doing an upstroke. And that means that the actual rhythm of my hand is my strumming hand is never changing, because it's still got to return. It's still got to come up, right? Even if I'm only doing strumming on the quarter beats, on the 1, 2, I'm still bringing my hand up. So it's got to get back there. The only difference when I'm playing the 8th notes is that I'm actually strumming on the way up as well, right? 1, 2, 3, 4, 1 and 2 and 3 and 4, right? So that may take you a little while to practice. If you've got, you could, if you want to get really basic, you can use the clock on the wall. If it's got a second hand, you just use that, 60 beats per minute. Your phone's going to have, you can get a free app for a metronome, just something to give you a steady beat, right? Practice it at slow speeds, just so you can get the concept. And then as you start getting familiar and stable at slower speeds, then you can start increasing your speed a little bit. Okay, so that is the basic concept of rhythm, is that you've got these beats, certain number of beats per bar, in this case 4, and you can fraction those down as much as you want and in different ways. Okay? Now, that's really important, because as soon as you've got all these different options available to you, now you can start mixing and matching. So in today's strum pattern, what we're going to do is we're going to go down, 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 up, down, up. 1, 2, 3, and 4, and. Okay? So you can even practice this if you want without playing chords at all. And whatever's comfortable for you, you can talk over it. Down, 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 up, down, up. 1, 2, 3, and 4, and 1, 2, 3, and 4. And if it's too much to talk over it, don't worry about that at all. It's not important. It just helps, be thinking at least of the pattern as you're going through, right? Think down, 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 up, down, up. 1, 2, 3, and 4, and. The more that you can start associating what you're playing with a count, you're just going to find it easier to learn songs, to identify new strum patterns as you come across them, be like, what are they doing, right? But then you can just break it down by counting it out. And that's going to be a super valuable tool for you as you progress further on the guitar. So you can start with no chords, then go to an easy chord. It doesn't matter what it is, E minor, okay? 3 and 4 and 1, 2, 3 and 4 and then from there you can start, once you got that really solid and consistent, because you're working on your rhythm hand, okay? You want to, it's especially right at the beginning, work on these things separately, okay? Don't just expect yourself to be able to strum this fantastic song right out of the gate. It takes practice to build up getting a good sound out of your chords so that every single note is nice and clear. We've talked about that before. And it also takes practice to get your strumming hand working in time. So work on those skills individually, and then you can put them together, right? Once each one has come up to a certain level, then you can put them together. And that's really how all of learning guitar works. Is it's just you keep on learning new skills, and then you combine it with something else once you've got it up to speed, right? And you keep on building this big tree of skills, I guess, right? So pick an easy chord and work on that. And then once you got both of those sounding good, start working on your chord changes. 2, 3, and 4, and 1, 2, 3, and 4, and 1, 2, 3, and 4, and 1, 2, 3, and 4. In this series of lessons, by now we've got most of the chords in the key of G, right? We've got G, C, D, E minor, and A minor. And you may or may not know B minor yet. That's the last chord that we need to complete this key. You can arrange, if you've got chords that belong in the same key together, you can put them in any order you want. So take this strum pattern, 1, 2, 3, and 4, and 1, 2, 3, and 4, and 1. can create your own chord progressions, your own songs, whatever you want to do. The sky is the limit. It's really, really versatile. So you got your homework, the strum pattern, work on counting rhythms. Even just start thinking about that as you hear a new song. See if you can hear the count, right? Start working, exercising your brain in that direction. You're going to notice it really pays off. All right, Jonathan Bocher here from PlayGuitar.com. If you haven't already, head on over to PlayGuitar.com/custom, and you can take the really short quiz, and it'll give you an indication of where your skills are at in different areas, and then we can customize a lesson plan and send you a free lesson like this one every week with a video that is targeted at helping you develop the skill areas that you're currently weak in. All right, it's a lot of fun. We'll see you again next time.